If you would like to hear Night Dreams Talk Radio on your local radio station, let them know. Tell them to check out www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. And thank you.
Good evening or morning, depending on your time zone. From the Pacific to the Atlantic to you worldwide. Get yourself a cup of java and find a comfy, easy chair. And get ready for Gary and his guest on Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark. And now, here's Gary.
And here I am. Oh boy, I need a golf club. All I can say is that every time I play that, I think of Johnny Carson, which, you know what? Johnny Carson was really awesome.
Yeah, he was good. I remember sneak watching him when I was a little kid. And my parents would say, "Get back to bed."
Oh yeah, I got hooked on him. My parents used to watch Johnny Carson all the time. I mean, he was funny. He got out of the Navy. He decided he was going to write a whole bunch of, what do you call it, skits and stuff for other comedians, and then he got the gig of the Tonight Show. And after Steve? God, I can't think of his name. Retired.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of him either. But
Steve Allen.
Yeah. He was there a long time after that.
Oh, yeah, he was there for like 20 some odd years. What better way to age? Age with TV.
That's right. We seen him age right on TV.
Yeah, a young guy when he got on, and an old guy when he got off. He saw a UFO. Yeah,
I heard about that. I don't know the details of it, but I heard something about it a few years ago.
Yeah, he was out of his house in Malibu. He was out on the rear deck, and he saw a UFO. He was totally thought before that UFOs were fake. And after he saw one, he just did 180 degree. Well, most people do. When you see something that you don't think is real, and you do see it, it makes you wonder. Just like our last person calling who, has been a guest on our show and will be again in November. He thought he saw something like a Bigfoot on his property. It's possible.
Right. I don't doubt UFOs, but when I seen the cigar-shaped one that I seen in July in broad daylight, that stopped me in my tracks. I mean, I was in such awe, I didn't even think to film it. I did get some pictures, but, it just... It stuns you. It's because you're not used to seeing that stuff. At least I was not in person. I'm not anyway.
Oh yeah. And why did you do that to me? You said cigar. I've gone 2 weeks without smoking one, and just saying the word cigar shape, I look at right next to me. I have cigars, but I was told not to smoke anymore because besides smelling up my studio, they all jumped on me and said it makes the house smell foul. How could a cigar make your house? They're not cheap cigars. They're not the 50-cent ones I used to smoke. These are the dollar ones.
It's just a more, it's just more expensive smelling cigar. That's all.
Well, you're probably right.
You're hilarious, Gary. I got to tell you. You are.
Well, I've been trying not to use that word. I got it right in front of me. My agent... Here he lectures me, and I know you're there, Sam. There's two words I'm not allowed to say according to my agent. It's not the F word. It's not all this stuff. It's the word YOUKNOW. And he lectured me because one night I said it like 8 or 9 times after he told me not to. What happened the next night? Because I was under a little stress because of my home life. Not my wife, but, when you have kids move back in. I said it 130-some times that night, 2 nights ago. 130-some times. He took the time to mark whatever he did to keep track how many times I said,
Oh, that is dedication.
Yeah.
You're making me dirt conscious about it now.
Yeah, that's what he did to me because, he lectured me that morning. Stop using it, okay? And I go, okay, well, that's not that many times in 3 hours. No, the next night I have to say it 130 some times. So I what was I saying, guys? And I know I did because I went and listened to it afterwards. And I think about every fifth word. It was YOUKNOW, just like clockwork. What not? I don't know why.
Oh, boy. Well, you better stop doing that or you're going to be in timeout.
I think what happened is my ex-wife from many years ago, like 45 years ago, found my show and she cast a spell on me.
That's probably what it is, I'm sure.
I got to blame somebody. Why not blame her? She was a witch.
Yeah, you don't want to make them angry.
Oh, no. What's she going to do to me now?
Well, you could be clucking like a chicken one of these days and not know why.
I do that for, never mind, on Saturday nights. Anyway, so just moving along. Rob had that was kind of scary, what he said, what happened in that one area. I found it interesting that he was in the canal where the salt water would come in and mix with the fresh water. He would go swimming.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that? I actually used to live in Florida. I was at the near the Boynton Inlet one time, 35 plus years ago, and in the little river where it comes in, and I was fishing. I was up to my, thighs probably in the water, and all of a sudden here comes this probably 10, 12-foot gator just cruising along, and I'm like, oh, Lord, this is a bad time. So I'm concentrating on this gator. I'm trying to back out real slowly. I don't want to make no sudden moves. And then there's this is where fate and God test you, because here comes this boat, and there's this woman on there with the short skirt, and she's yelling at me, and I look, and she's mooning me, and there's this gator coming at me, and I got a fishing pole in the water, and I'm trying to get out of there quietly without getting this gator's attention, so it was like, it was an anxiety moment, to say the least.
So in other words, you had a hard time figuring out, okay, do I worry about getting away from the gator, or do I look at her boobs? Which one do I want to do? Okay, and then you try to do all three, which makes it really complicated.
It was, because I almost tripped, and then I got the gator's attention. So bottom story is I ended up sprinting out of there, so I got out of the water anyway. It was awful. Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah, you imagine, like he said, like around nursing homes, those poor little old ladies will go down by the pond, because when they dig out, to build one, the water level comes up, so they got a little pond naturally there. And guess what? You get these little critters in there that love eating whatever, like dogs and people and stuff like that.
You don't think there's a contrived purpose of putting nursing homes close to the shore for a reason?
Oh, well, only when they start running out of, money. After then they might at that point, it's time for them to go.
Yeah, go picnic down by the lake over there. It's real nice.
Could you imagine though? You're 90 years old and a gator grabs you, and you're going, "Now cut that out, George."
I don't know no better.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't want to live there where they got these big pythons and you got these spiders and you got all these other, snakes that are poisonous, and then you got gators. They just got one here recently. It was 19 feet long. After it, they went out and got it after it ate a guy.
Yeah, it's like it's an invasive species, and between all the hurricanes setting them free and people having them as pets setting them free, they start to breed, and so now they become a nuisance. They'll eat your pets, your little kids, your really they'll eat anything and get wrap around. So they're dangerous.
Yeah, you can't even go swimming in a pool. If you have your own pool there in Florida, you have to make sure it's nothing in it when you jump in.
Yeah, because a gator will get in any water. I mean, really. So if the littlest bit of water a gator can get in, I always look first. I just don't jump in when I was in Florida. No, not me.
Yeah. But then you see these, videos of people, like a gator will go into their house for some reason because they have their door open, and they're sitting there, swinging a broom at it to chase the gator out. I don't know. I don't know. And how about these guys you see that put their heads in the gators? And there's this one guy on YouTube is actually swims with a gator. The gator is like really friendly, and he gives it, cleaning every day, and the gator just loves him like a human being. But I would never trust, I never would trust that.
Yeah, one day the gator's going to show up, the guy's going to be gone, and he's going to have a nice big belly for some reason.
Yeah. Or maybe then one day the gator is hungry and decides, well, hey, you don't need that arm. I need it more than you do.
Wasn't there a rash of baby gators being flushed down the toilet in New York at one time, or something about them ended up in the sewers and stuff?
Oh, yeah. That was back a few years ago. You know about I told you about the piranha. It was found in a lake in Canada, and they were scared because, piranhas normally have to have a certain temperature in the water to survive. But what I was reading in the article is that people buy these illegal, fish, right? And the piranhas bring it home and then kind of breed them. And what happens is they get used to the colder water. So when they dump them in the lake, they don't die off.
Adaptability.
They adapt to it.
Yeah.
And could you imagine if they breed fast? I've seen, like in Brazil where they take cattle across a river or a stream, and they sacrifice a cow or two for they can get the whole herd across, because they'll sit there in a matter of minutes. They'll eat a full-size cow down to nothing, down to bones.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Vicious.
Yeah.
Sure, a few humans have met the same fate, too.
Yeah. Haven't you ever seen that movie, Piranha?
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't take a bath for a month after that one.
They might come in through the water system, huh?
You never know.
Jeez.
So I can't believe it. Not one trick-or-treater came. Not one. No,
well, they probably afraid to. I'm just saying, with all that stuff you got in your studio, them scary figures, and hearing all your stories, you're scaring your wife. They're probably afraid to knock on the door.
Now, why did you have to bring my wife up? I really felt guilty after talking to Rob about that.
Oh, jeez. No, you didn't.
Yes, I actually did. I actually had at least 30 seconds of remorse.
Okay. Well, at least it passed.
Yeah, the remorse was What, Sam?
Oh, is your compound well lit?
Not really.
Oh, yeah. I could see where it'd be kind of spooky going in there.
Yeah, I got a fan on the ceiling with a bunch of, LED lights that are not very bright. Then my server has a light in it. And then I have an on-air sign, 2 of them in here. And that's it. So it's kind of like spooky. It's like being outside